I know in my last video I said I was going to talk about scan settings. We aren't doing that. We're going to talk about that in another video. What we're going to do is help get you set up so you can start listening. These aren't instructions on which channels or which frequencies you need to listen to during or after a major earthquake. If you bought this radio from me for that purpose, then I included a frequency guide that'll help to explain most of that. Later I'll make a video with more specifics. What you will have is you will have a frequency guide that looks something like this. Your frequency guide's probably not the same, but the concept will be the same. Go ahead and take your radio, power it on.
Channel mode.
Make sure
Frequency mode.
you are in channel mode.
Channel mode.
And now what we want to do is presume you know which frequency you're looking for. In this case, we're looking for a CAL FIRE frequency. Let's say we're in an area that we know CAL FIRE has the jurisdictional responsibility for emergency incidents that occur for fire and rescue. So what we'll notice in the upper right hand corner of your guide, it says 62-73 CDF. What that means is we can expect to find our CAL FIRE or our CDF frequencies in channels 62 to 73. So what we're going to do is when you punch in a frequency, it has to be 3 digits. So if we're looking for channel 62, it's going to be 0, 6, 2. And that is our San Bernardino dispatch frequency, I believe. We can scroll up. Besides using the numbers in 3 digits, we can use our up and down arrows.
6, 3, 6, 4.
And this is our CDF, command 1 repeat. So we can expect incidents to be managed typically by fire chiefs and our incident commanders on the command frequency. If we scroll up a few more channels,
6, 7.
you'll come to CDF T4. Typically, I use T for TAC in how I program radios. So we are at CDF TAC 4. Your tactical frequency is going to be the actual operations that are on the ground. Firefighters talking to firefighters. Now let's say you want to monitor the command frequency as well as the TAC. That's where our AB button comes into play. If you'll notice, there's an arrow just before CDF, and when I press AB, it drops down to the frequency below. Remember, it's almost like having 2 separate radios, and the AB button lets you choose which one you want to use. So now I can start at channel 0, 6, 2, and there is no frequency. Let's try 0, 6, 3.
6, 2.
Okay, there was a frequency, I pressed the wrong button.
6,
You can use your arrows to scroll
6,
through,
4.
and now we are on our command repeat frequency. Now at this point you don't have to do anything because the radio, based on the settings that the radio came set up on, will automatically listen to both channels. The little arrow will tell you which frequency you're going to transmit on if you happen to be transmitting. So you're always listening to those 2 frequencies, and if you happen to be talking on command and on TAC, you could switch back and forth easily. Or you might be in an area where you are going to listen to LA County Fire, and
0,
in that case,
3, 1.
you can use the frequency guide to locate those frequencies. Typically, firefighters and police officers are dispatched on a dispatch frequency, which is what Blue 8 is. And then once they get there, they manage the incident on the command frequency. And again, the actual tactics are discussed on the tactical frequencies. There's one thing I forgot to mention. I'm just throwing this in the video. This is not a video on how to make video with great edits. If you see this star button here where it says scan in blue, if you hold it down,
Scanning begin.
you will begin to scan. And at this point, you are no longer listening to the bottom channel where it says AB. You're only listening to the top, and you're listening to everything that was programmed in to be scanning. So if you bought this radio for earthquake purposes, there are a lot of frequencies that you're going to be scanning. And if you want to see what's going on in your area or what frequencies you might be picking up, using that scan feature is going to be the best way to do that. When you're done scanning, you can press any button or hit the exit button. In my next video, I'm going to be comparing some of the UV-5R series radios. Later, I'm going to talk about programming, how to do it by hand, how to program in repeaters, what are repeaters, what is line of sight, and we're going to go through some tests where we test the range of these radios. Not just the radios, but I'm also going to be giving a review on some antennas and also testing the range on those as well. Thanks for watching.